We've already started. Dusty bin. Well, hello, and welcome to our podcast. Today's guest is Sean from Osstem.
Hi, everyone.
Hiya.
How you doing?
How are you two? Yeah, good. You?
Very good, thank you. You two look like you're abroad. Look at you. I expect like a margarita or a pina colada by your side.
For me, I've just got water, unfortunately, and as exotic as it looks behind me, I'm just at home.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm on a beach. Might get some seagulls just
Heckle.
coming over the mic a little bit. Yeah, just heckling a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that background. Absolutely, it looks like you're like somewhere in Spain or something, right?
Just pure accident. I don't know how to get rid of it either, because I put it on. You got a little choice on the thingy on the iPhone, and I just popped it on, and now every time I log on somewhere, I've got this.
Great.
Which is, looks nice.
Could be worse.
Could be a lot worse.
Could be worse.
It could be this background, right?
What's wrong with that? That's what I mean. You do look like you're abroad. Listen, we're not here to talk about the weather, gentlemen, although I dare say we could fill a podcast with comments on the weather. Sean, obviously we can see you're sporting your Osstem t-shirt. Big up to Osstem.
Yeah.
And we just want to have a chat with you. I mean, how long have you been with Osstem?
It's literally 2 years and probably about a week.
Check you on countdown.
Yes.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
To both of you.
Yeah, thanks. How long have you guys been working together for?
Let's have a look.
We've got the date written down as well.
I think we've been working together for about 10 years. Is that correct, Carl Horton?
It's a bit longer, I think.
It could be a bit longer. I think I actually said 10 the other week, and you were like, I think it's longer.
It's longer, yeah.
So, yeah, a little while.
Great.
All implants? All implant related?
Yeah. Where did you graduate from, Carl?
I might be this is excellent. Yeah, Birmingham. I graduated from Birmingham back in...
Can I dare ask the date, or are you...
Yeah. It's fine, all right. Yeah. 1896.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Chalk and slate. 96,
I graduated. Then I funny enough, I was looking at my GDC number, because it's ridiculously low when you look at the GDC numbers now. So it's 71768. And you look at the numbers now and just think, and I thought that was a big number then. But yeah, got a job with, well, not a job, it was vocational training with Giles Perrier. It was fantastic at sort of helping me out. But I was fortunate enough to do implants on my elective with a guy called Peterson, he's passed away some time ago now over in the States in Ohio. So I was interested in implants.
Or did you go to the US to learn?
Went to the US. I learned here. So I got a taste for it over there, but then I went on the foundation course, Straumann ITI course, and then I did the MSc with VSS at UCLan with Fadi Barrick.
Yeah.
Just to formalise the qualification. I had a really good mentor over in Wolverhampton with John Pugh. So I was really fortunate. I mean, I also had mentors with Jose and Maria when they did the Perio course. So I've had some really, really fortunate people kind of mentoring me and, helping me through this journey to get where I am now and do the mentoring myself.
I was going to say, it's about time you pass that knowledge on.
Yeah, we still do. We don't do it as much as we used to. We used to do it quite a lot. We're kind of focusing more on the complex work. But this isn't about me anyway. Sorry.
No.
but yeah. And how do you doing implants before Osstem?
No. So my journey, I moved to the UK back in, we're going way back now, 2008. I was actually born and raised in Iraq, moved here. I did my undergraduate in Cardiff, which is International Business Management, then moved on to do a master's in banking and finance. And I've been an estate agent for about 7 to 8 years. That's my background. 5 of those in Cardiff and 3 in central London. So that's where kind of my sales background comes from. And then I was at the right place at the right time and got the job with Osstem. Somehow I know a lot of dentists. I don't even know how, but most of my friends are
Selling them houses?
actually, sorry?
Selling them houses?
No. In fact, it actually wasn't. Yeah. None of them were actually a client. It was just friends. We were used to play football together and so on. And that's how I kind of fell into Osstem. I've been here since. It's been about 2 years. Usually, for me, anything above 2 years, that's usually good going. Every year it has to be a change, but it's a good company to work for.
You get itchy feet, do you, Sean?
Well, yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends. But yeah, if it's more than a year, then we're good.
So what's your area, Sean?
So I cover Wales and Southwest, so pretty much half of the country is mine, essentially. In fact,
Big
I've got a
area.
picture of it. Yeah, I've got a picture of it here. So the turquoise, I don't know if you can see it, all of that
Oh, yeah.
turquoise.
Wow.
That's me. That's my area. So I do a lot of driving.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
I bet. But you obviously enjoy it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I don't like to be sat in an office doing the same thing over and over again. I love going to meet different people, seeing different things, seeing different cities, and every challenge and every client is different. So some are at the start of their journey, some are kind of like very knowledgeable. They don't really need that much support, and everything's different, literally every single day. So I love it. And with me, the most important thing is just building those relationships rather than just being a salesperson, essentially. And that's what working in central London has taught me. It's about the kind of long-term relationship rather than thinking about, okay, I'm just going to get the sale, move on. No, it's all about building relationships, keeping those clients happy, kind of supporting them, and it kind of becomes like a whole journey rather than just a transaction, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you stand out amongst the rest, doesn't it?
Hopefully. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but yeah, hopefully.
I think it's a great philosophy.
Yeah, and I do.
Right,
100%.
the right way to work. Yeah, I
Thank
think
you.
people
Yeah.
value it, and then we don't get that. We don't. I'm going to be quiet because Kate said I can talk for everybody. It's
Oh,
getting
go
that
on,
connection
please.
back.
That's all. Go on.
Well, I think it is about connection and connecting, and I think that can be quite a challenge compared to what it used to be like with the bombardment that you get on social media and the way. I mean, so my niece is 26 guy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if I've got your age wrong. And I remember me and my brother talking about it, and the way that they communicate seems alien to me because they can do it online and they can have friendships online. And that just seems like alien to me. So when you're coming into the practice and making that connection and valuing that connection and making that a lot stronger, works certainly for my age.
Are we talking what, 35, 36?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and maybe 1 or 2 more years on top
All
of
right.
that. No, I knew I liked him, Kate.
Yeah. This is costing me a lot of money, you know. Thanks, Sean.
So yeah, I think it's really important. I think it's hugely important. It adds a lot of value to everything. But I was looking at your map, and in terms of the number of sort of dental practices you've got in that huge area, it's not a huge amount. It's not densely populated Wales and Cornwall.
Absolutely not. It's compared to London, obviously.
Yeah.
I think they probably have about 5 times the amount of dentist practices that I do in my area, and that's just London, and central London essentially. Like it's if you compare the numbers, it's not even a comparison. It's
Yeah.
it's you're right. So absolutely right. It's few and far in between.
So how
And
many miles you doing a week?
I don't know in a week, but I've had my car for about a year and 6 months, and it's almost coming up to 70,000 miles.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a lot of driving.
Yeah, that
lot.
is.
Mind you,
Yeah.
you've got some lovely countryside to travel across when you're going from one
Absolutely.
area of Wales to the other, to be fair, haven't you? Well,
Absolutely.
especially with the weather we've had.
Yeah, and that what makes it even more enjoyable. In fact, I'm probably, I don't know how people are going to take this, but Wales, some parts of it is actually a lot nicer than Switzerland. They say Switzerland has the best nature and things in the world. I've been there and I've been driving around North Wales and Wales. It's essentially no comparison because there's some scenery around here. It's
It's incredible,
out of
isn't it?
this world, out of this world.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And as I said, with the weather that we've had of late, it's a bit of a bonus. It makes everywhere look beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. So luckily for me, I do enjoy driving, so I don't see it as a problem. Yeah.
With Osstem as a product, Sean, talk to us about its products. What do Osstem offer?
So I like to do my research before I join a company. So I did my research about Osstem and I made sure it's something that if I ever needed, it would be something I would have and it would have a reputation that I actually would want to sell it as well. I don't really want to work somewhere where I don't believe in the product. In terms of Osstem overall, it's the number one placed implant in the world. So in terms of implants placed numbers, they are the leading brand essentially. But in terms of value, we're not the leader. In terms of revenue, sorry, we're not the leaders. It's a South Korean brand. They do a lot more in South Korea in terms of like even CBCT scans and things like that. In the UK, we do surgical kits, implants, chairs, intraoral scanners, implant motors, and so on. In terms of the products we offer, in terms of implants, we have the TS3, we have the TS4, which is a more aggressive thread and we have the SS, which is a tissue level implant, and we also have the active implant which is NH and SOI. SOI stands for super osseointegration. So it just gives you that wide variety of products and whichever you prefer and whichever you'd like to work with in terms of implants, then we pretty much got it all covered essentially. So we can be a one-stop shop for all of your implant needs and slightly further as well.
Yeah, I think that it's been sort of, we watched Osstem grow, haven't we, really? So we were working with Osstem probably before you were born.
Steady.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'm getting to that age where this is a compliment right now.
Yeah.
Right. You'll get a cent discount on your next package.
Excellent. And they weren't doing the chairs, or we didn't know they were doing the chairs last time, the CBCT. That's all kind of come in. And it's been nice to see the company grow, actually. From a UK perspective, don't know what they were doing in Korea back then. But they certainly seem to have done really well in bringing out the new implant lines. So that certainly with the implants, with the coatings and the more aggressive implants, that's good to see. So again, with the advent of the full arch sort of work, and that's becoming more and more popular, it's nice to see that Osstem have got that wide sort of range of implants, because that's where some of the companies, I think, if you're looking at getting an implant, if they're just sort of fixed to a few products, when your cases are coming in that are varied, you've then got to look at another company to supply some of those things, and that can be a challenge.
Absolutely. In terms of the full arch work, we work with a lab who is DNH Dental Lab. They do a full digital guide for you. It's an unstackable guide, which is a new thing that they've created. And as an Osstem company, what we do is we send you a full box of all of the components that you'll ever need to load those teeth on a day. We send that to your practice. You take whatever you want from it or need, and then you just send it back. So the only thing that you have to plan ahead for is your implants, your MUAs, your temporary cylinders, all of that. You can just literally pick up from that box and do it there and then. So you've got pretty much all of our components sent to you for the full arch.
It's a good way of doing it, isn't it? Yeah, there was another company that did that, and then they stopped.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna. We won't mention that. But
that's fine.
I thought it was a great way of doing it, and it is a great way of doing it because it really helps. Because I mean, at first, when you first start doing these cases, you're not really 100%. I mean, even now, sometimes I'm switching, so I might think, well, maybe I'll need a 17 degree, and you come to placement, and you might just find that the bone isn't quite right, so you might just change the angle, and it might become a 30 degree. Or you might just go a little deeper than you expected. So you've gone from like 2.5 gingival height to 3, maybe. There's variations on what that. But I think you were talking there. Were you talking about guided? So is that a fully guided
So
treatment?
it can literally be fully guided from start to finish. So they'll get involved in the planning as soon as you approve it, obviously as a dentist, and then they'll send you the guide. And also, even after you've done the placement, they've got this photogrammetry scanner that they can scan the implants. And if you're London-based, your teeth will be delivered to you in 2 hours. If you're not London-based, then it could be literally the next day or the day after, where the second you put those teeth on, it's literally just going to fit straight away. That's if you wanted to do delayed. If you wanted to do it on straight after the placement, then obviously they'll have the temporary readies, and then you'll just do the pickup there and then. But for your finals, they will definitely have that photogrammetry involved, as well as the intraoral scanner. It could literally be a whole full digital workflow from start to finish.
Which is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very much
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Very much
So
so.
you don't even need to buy that scanner yourself, because for some people it could be a lot of money to invest into straight away, especially if you don't have that kind of high turnover of full arches. They can send it across to you. You get to use it whenever needed, and after that, if you are getting very busy with pull arches, then maybe you can buy one. But they make your life so much easier and basically the results also are just on a whole different level of accuracy.
That is
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah. I mean, the difference between the intraoral scanners and the photogrammetry, Sean. Kate, are you familiar with that? Have we talked about this before?
Before we have, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
explain, because there'll be people that don't know.
for those of the listeners that there's a slight difference in the terms of the photogrammetry is some more of an extraoral image. So the camera's sort of taking a picture from outside of the mouth, and they look like little dominoes. Well, it depends on what you're using, but they look like little dominoes. And it's able to take some images from outside of the mouth with the mouth open, and then connect that image and give a 3D representation that's really accurate. Whereas with the intraoral scanner, you have a scanner that goes in the mouth and it picks up the little cylinders, the scan bodies. And that can be a challenge with the full arch cases, or it used to be a challenge with the accuracy, but these days that's becoming less of an issue. But you've still got to put something in the mouth and get around those scan bodies and be able to scan them accurately. And there are different systems and different ways of doing that. But the photogrammetry is obviously a much easier process, and the accuracy is increased in comparison. But also it's the ease of use as well. But there is a cost difference. There's a big cost
Yes.
difference at the
Yeah.
moment. At the moment,
Yeah.
I mean, the technology has just changed so much from when we first started. So when we first started, digital didn't really exist. So we were doing our pickups, analog pickups, and we were working. We still work with CDTs, and the CDTs were kind of doing our conversions and fits, which was great. It's good, but it's a much longer process. I mean, it's just getting better and better for patients. I think it's just fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah, and especially with the guided system, and again, the lab does like single implant placements. I've seen people do a placement within 35 minutes to 45 minutes. That's from
Yeah,
start to finish, and with suturing and everything else involved as well. So it's very quick. It's less invasive for the patient. The results are better. The restorative side is better. You just have to work with the right lab and do the right planning ahead, essentially, and it should all go perfectly fine in a perfect world, essentially. But obviously, problems do come up. But yeah, I've seen
Brilliant.
people do it literally in 35 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, Kate. I mean, which seems incredibly quick in reality, because I've known and myself trying to take some teeth out. It's taken me longer than 35 minutes. An endo. Let's not even go there. I don't do that anymore, thankfully. Don't do that anymore. Just implants. Yeah, sorry, Kate.
No, you're right. I was just going to bring it back to products and different things. So what's the turnaround if somebody was to order, let's just say implants? What are we now? Sort of, middle of the day. When could they expect delivery?
I've looked at my watch just to make sure that I give you the right information. So as long as you let me know before 2 o'clock, and that just doesn't just apply to me, it applies to all of the other territory managers. As long as you let us know before 2 o'clock, the implant will be with you the next day.
That is very
all
good.
the components, or whatever you need, it will be with you the next day. If in an emergency and it's a last minute thing, and it depends if we're in the area or if I have someone that holds stock, because we don't personally hold stock, but if I know someone in the area or on the way and you have a patient turn up or you forgot to order, it can also be, I can drive it to you if needed. Okay, but that is not something that is usually done, but it's the usual is next day delivery, as long as you let us know before 2 o'clock.
Yes, well, I mean that in itself is certainly good enough, isn't it?
So we have a great kind of it's a Osstem chat, and you've seen people help each other out and send implants to each other and Uber stuff out. It's like a whole community rather than just an implant system. Essentially, everyone in that group helps each other out, and us as a territory managers, and I speak for the whole team, we do go above and beyond for our clients.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah, there's I don't know whether you're in it, Kate. There is a little WhatsApp group that Sean's mentioning there, and you just see the chit chat sometimes, and somebody will say, "I need a an implant," and then somebody will say, "Where are you?" Because they're in panic mode, so they kind of forget that. And then you'll see a couple of people will pop up, whoever that might be, and then that person will get that implant or that component. And it goes beyond that, actually. I mean, there's lots of sort of questions asked, sometimes about different systems, where people are trying to help out. There might be an issue with a system that somebody doesn't recognize or they're not familiar with. And there's a lot of knowledge within that group, and they'll come up and they'll talk about it. For instance, I think somebody was trying to remove an abutment screw today, and within a few minutes, somebody was on there saying, "Look, these are the way to do it. This is the way to do it. This is the way that I would do it. You can do it this way, this way, this way, and this way. Good luck." And it's that kind of support, and I think within the Osstem WhatsApp group, which is excellent. So it's really good. It's really sorry, Sean.
No, that's exactly it, and I'd rather it comes from you rather than me, because I could potentially be biased. But if it comes from someone like you, that's literally as raw as it gets.
Yeah. It's a very active group, and there's lots of good information in there. Like someone said, it's a nice community to be in. It's very good. I do
Sean,
like it.
this is really going to cost me a fortune. Seriously.
I mean, perhaps more implant sales for me, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, because you need a few more miles to travel.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's a couple of things that you guys do that I've always quite liked, and one I don't use very often, which is the ESIC kit, the bone expansion kit. The other thing that it'd be nice to talk about, I think, is the CAS kit, which is a nice little kit. And then something that I don't use again very often is your One Guide kit, which again came in, or maybe 5, 6, maybe longer, 7, 8 years ago, maybe I want to say. I think.
I don't know the exact date it was.
Yeah, well, you were
my time, yes,
before you were born, yeah.
Well, with a beard like that, hopefully I'm more than 8 years old, but you never know. Again, so let's not assume.
Good old AI.
I know, right? Yeah, no, this is not filtered, guys. It is my own beard. But I think I'm about to see the old guided kit actually on Friday, because I still haven't seen it. But I think you're right. It came in about literally about 8 years ago. And for those people that are listening, if you want to try it, we do offer a free trial. So if you want to see if guided is for you or not, by all means, you can reach out and we'll arrange a demo for you, and we'll actually arrange a trial as well for you if needed. In terms of the S kit, casket, and also the last kit, the casket I believe is a game changer when it comes to sinus lifts. We demonstrate the cast and last kit on an eggshell, and we still, the membrane is actually still intact, and the membrane of an egg, it's way thinner than a human membrane, and if it works on that and it's safe, then I'm sure you'll be able to make it work in the patient mouth and do those surgeries very safely, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think when we first used that was a real sort of eye opener for me. Moving away from I never really did like malleting someone's mouth, if I'm really honest. It just
I don't
didn't.
think they liked it either, to be honest.
No,
But I've never had it done, but I don't think that would be like
it's
something
not.
that
It's
I'd
not.
want done to me.
I mean, despite how many times you'd warn people, it's still a shock. I'm just you're gonna feel a very strong tap. Try not to cry too much, and then you get the hammer out and whack, and you have to give it a bit of welly, and obviously then there's the risks that are involved with that. But yeah, moving away from that for something that's so much more gentle, so much nicer for the patient. I mean, you're pretty much unaware that you're doing it. To go from something that was so aggressive to something that's so much more passive was a massive game changer for me. I mean, pretty much the first time I used it, that was it. I put the osteotomes away, and I don't think they've come back out since. That's how much of a game changer it was.
It's a nice looking kit though as well.
It looks nice.
It's a little kit, if you can say that.
We also
nice.
have now a guided version of the casket. So
do you?
Yeah. So
yeah, excellent.
So you've seen, or you've experienced how safe it is to use that on its own freehand, but you can also do a sinus lift guided with the guide in the mouth as well. Brilliant. So there's a whole different kit. So there's a guide. There is a sinus lift, a guided sinus lift, as well as a guided implant placement in the same guide. In one guide, you don't have to do separate guides for it. It's the same sleeves, same system, so it can all be tied into one, essentially.
Fantastic. It's just incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
I'm sort of curious a little bit, going back to what you were doing before. This is going away from Osstem. So you were an estate agent.
Yes.
And you qualified with your masters and then your banking and
finance. Yeah.
Finance.
Yeah.
And then what did you do after that?
So in between my undergraduate and my masters, I was working as an estate agent.
Yep.
And I just carried on doing it. Basically, I didn't want to do anything with my degree, but I thought, you know what, let's just have it under my belt just in case things don't work out and I want to move somewhere else. Because with my undergraduate, I studied Chinese as well, so I can speak Arabic, English, and now no Chinese. But at some point, I did speak some Chinese. But yeah, now it's just the English and Arabic. But I thought, you know what, if I have these degrees under my belt, the world is my oyster, essentially. But I did kind of stick to state agency because I loved it so much, and it was great. Again, you do meet great people, and those relationships, they last for years. I still have people that contact me that I sold them flats and houses almost like 10 years ago, even though I'm not in the industry anymore, but they tell me about their kids, they tell me about their life and so on. It's just building that long-term relationship for me. And again, I don't do it because it's just me. It's who I am and I enjoy it. Yeah.
Do you miss it?
Never just a transaction. Do I miss state agency? I do and I don't. In terms of it, there needs to be some changes made on a whole wider level, because you could be working on something for 4 to 5 months, and it could, again, that goes for the buyer, the seller, the agent that you're dealing with. I could literally be going back and forth, and 4 months of chasing solicitors, buyers, sellers, trying to get everything together, and people can just pull out for a simple reason that I don't fancy it anymore. It's like they don't even have to give you like a good enough excuse or anything like that. There's literally they're not tied into anything, and they could call it a day at any stage if needed.
Yeah.
I do get there is some things that might happen in life and they need to change, and by all means, that's absolutely fine. But some people just literally change for. I had an incident where someone said they've sent someone to see the flat, and then they came in it. They've seen the flat themselves, and they were like, "Oh, this was 1 day before exchange. They wanted to reduce the price by, I think, £300,000." And I was like, "What's your reason?" He was like, "I was just smaller than I imagined it to be." But I said, "You've been in it," and to come back 1 day before to try and reduce it by £300,000 is just not going to work. No one is going to give you that much discount. So it's things like that I don't miss. But
I bet.
going out and about and seeing different properties and different people and learning about their journey and what their plans to do with the property is, that I do miss. But I'm kind of doing that here essentially. I'm building those relationships where I'm at. So
Yes.
that aspect of it I still carry with me essentially.
Yes. And again,
Yeah.
you're building up the trust, aren't you? Because likewise, when you were looking for houses, they've got to be able to trust and warm to you. You're doing the same now, but in a different job.
Absolutely. I don't sell anything to anyone that they don't need. I've never been that person my whole entire life, even though that's what some sales are about. But for me, that was never the case. If you don't need something, in fact, I will tell you myself, you probably will hardly use that thing or you hardly don't need that. So there's a different way to approach it, or there's a different product that's available that might be more useful for you. And that just, I'd rather lose that sale and gain you as a friend and as a referee essentially, because if, for example, you guys are happy and if I've done that, I'm sure I'm going to get 2 or 3 other people,
Exactly.
even though I've just lost one sale. But for me, that's not a loss. For me, that's being honest, offering the right advice essentially, and just basically a human to human level rather than the transaction. And that's going to make me, I'm going to make that much from Carl. I'm going to move on. That's never how I've worked, and never ever I've worked back like that.
Losing one sale probably would mean you get another 5 or 6 though, because you've been honest. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So what would you do? What would you like Osstem to do for you next?
I mean, they're pretty much doing very good as it is. I don't think.
Answer.
I don't really. If they weren't that great, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've literally.
Where do you think they're going to go next? Is there anything new on the horizon that they've got that you might not be able to talk about? Or?
There's always something new. I'll be able to better answer that question after hopefully October, because I will be going to the factories and I will be going to the tours and seeing Seoul and all the rest of it. So hopefully, if you're ever going to have me, if you're ever going to have me again as a guest, then
absolutely.
We could definitely talk about it in November. So we'll keep a close eye on it. I'll keep you updated with the latest things. But there's always new things. There's always new developments going on. There's always improvement, because no system out there is perfect, and we do take on feedback and try and work and improve ourselves and our system and everything, because no one out there is perfect. No one has a perfect product.
One of the things that I was impressed with during lockdown was how they sort of managed things around the factory. I don't know whether you've seen some of the stuff that they did, but their management throughout COVID was pretty exceptional, really. So they were putting little videos on, but what they were doing within the factory over in Korea and things like that, and how they were managing the COVID situation. It was really impressive with what they were doing with everything. I mean, they're probably still on YouTube if you're really that interested. You want to have a look. But that was absolutely fascinating. And you mentioned a little bit about some things have to change, and come back to your estate agent comments now. What would you change?
In terms of what, estate agency or?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned about sort of clients doing that, and you know, unfortunately, I've had my neighbour experience very similar to what you were talking about, whereas that on the day of the exchange, the people dropped out, and they'd been round 2 days, and it's quite sad because they're quite an elderly couple, but they'd been round I want to say 2 days before, and it was all going through and everything was fine. So the couple that were our neighbours had brought carpets because they were moving into a ground floor flat for reasons that they couldn't manage the stairs anymore. Brought all the carpets, spent all the money, and then this couple pulled out on the day.
Something,
no reason.
if it was up to me, I would actually get slightly more commitment so early on from people. And that's buyers, sellers. As an agent, I would like to get some commitment from the seller essentially to start with, because they, like I said, the people could literally change for that exactly that reason. But if there is no commitment, it's very easy to pull out and change your mind essentially. So, for example, maybe have that deposit locked in an account straight away, and then to kind of make sure that people, when they're out viewing and they're out making decisions and things like that, are actually thinking, if I'm not making the right decision here, it could cost me, rather than let's just go with the flow and see how we get on. And if it works, but if something else better comes up, I'm just going to go ahead and take that and mess those people along and mess that person on. So it's just having slightly more commitment in a way that will work for all sides, rather than just one side benefiting from it. So just like make it a fairer system essentially, because I think in Scotland you're exchanging within like 7 days or something like that, which again it shows some commitment early on.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Great.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, have a financial commitment.
Absolutely. That way you're making sure that people, when they're out viewing, when they're out making decisions, it's the right decision for them, because there is consequences at the end of it.
Yes. Yeah, 100% might make them think twice about just, making a decision, blowing in the wind. Or,
also, kind of from a buyer's point of view, from a seller's point of view, hopefully they'll introduce more laws, more, even though the industry is very kind of closely watched, but I don't think there is enough to protect people essentially as well at the same time, from estate agents and so on and things like that. There is still very kind of not ethical ways of doing business essentially. There just needs to be more to protect people essentially.
Yeah. Well, Carl said, what would you change about estate agents? What would you change about Osstem? If anything, I might help you there.
Go on. What would you change? What would you like?
What would you change?
Us to change?
What would you change?
Probably the multi-unit scan bodies, slightly make them longer. And I think they're actually working on that as we speak.
Okay.
So they are working on a lot of developments to do with full arches. So again, I won't be saying too much on that, but there could be a huge improvement coming very soon, essentially.
Fantastic.
Okay. That's pretty much the only thing that I'm kind of aware of at the moment. But if I do get any feedback from any of my clients, then it definitely will get passed on to our research and development team in Korea.
Good. I mean, feedback, I think some people take the word feedback as negative, and, it isn't.
Absolutely not.
It's exactly what you've just said. It's feedback, because the people that are using the product day in, day out can feed that back to the people that are making it, etc. So it's a nice relationship to have.
And that's how we become a better company. That's how we become a better product, is by always improving and always listening and changing things to make it people's lives easier, essentially.
100% for both parties.
Yeah, and you are quite innovative as a company, I must admit. I mean, I remember it wasn't Danny, sorry Danny, but one of the technicians that we worked with when we first started we were using analog, and he said, have you seen the analogs from Osstem, Carl? And I was like, no. Well, I mean, no offense, but this, no. And he said, they're absolutely incredible. He said, look at this, and you had this little screw that screwed the analog in, locked into the model. And it kind of like really impressed him. He was super, super excited. And, and from a technician's point of view as well, if you've got something that actually locks in and then gives you a stable analog, then you know that your results are going to be superior compared to the older. So the analog was the copy of the implant, which the lab would then build the restoration on. So that would go into the model. And some of the problems with the analogs when we started printing was that they could be a little loose. So you might have to glue them in to the model sometimes. But to prevent that, Osstem invented this tiny little screw that effectively you screwed the analog in, and that locked it into the model and made it much more secure. And therefore, you didn't get some of the issues that you got with some of the other companies. It's very innovative, but obviously then it changed a little bit when it went from analog to digital. But yeah, again, quite impressed.
Literally just changed not long ago. We've changed our scan bodies probably about a year ago. So they're always, even though they're working, but they're always changing things to make it even better and better and better. We didn't have much problems in the old ones, but they're improving their system essentially every day because,
the old ones, I do remember I struggled once or twice with those just purely because they were the triangular shape. Those ones you're talking about?
So I'll show you a picture if I can get it up. There's been a new change as well, I think. Let's have a look.
Yeah, so we started off with the Osstem ones.
These are now the new ones.
Yeah, so much more refined, better shape. Yeah, we struggled with the old ones were kind of shorter and fatter.
Yeah,
and you sometimes when you got a really thin interproximal space and your implant rotation, because you wouldn't always be thinking, where's my scan body going to go?
Yeah.
And your implant goes in, where prosthetically it's going to go, but you wouldn't be thinking of the rotation of the scan body is only limited. And sometimes it just wouldn't fit in because of the teeth either side. So I had to use third party once or twice.
Yeah, didn't want to hear that. All right.
Well, they fixed it. They fixed it.
Absolutely.
So it's not a problem at all. But it's one of those things. You learn, you adapt, and you change.
Yeah.
But yeah, again,
Osstem definitely aren't a lazy company, are they? I mean, they don't just sit there and carry on. They really do keep up and try to change and improve. And it is very evident, to be fair, and it has been the whole time we've worked with Osstem.
And even on a UK level, we're always encouraged to kind of come up with feedback, come up with new things, and come up with new ideas, and how we can help people and how we can support people even in more ways. I personally get involved a lot in open days and growing the implant side of business of things in terms of a dental practice. Like, for example, I've got email templates that you can send out to your patients to let them know you started doing implants. I get involved in open days. We give free goodie bags. We do a lot more than just implants, essentially. I personally do anyway.
What's in your goodie bags?
Like toothpaste, toothbrush,
just asking.
Missing tooth leaflets. We sometimes, and don't quote me on this because I don't know if they'll run out in the office or not, we give wireless chargers as well.
Sure. I've got a big question for you now, actually.
Go on.
2 questions. One, does it have a pen in?
Yes, we actually do, yes.
This is the deal breaker. Is it blue or black ink?
Oh, I actually don't know.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I'll need to find out. And again, hopefully in my next podcast hopefully we'll find out. In fact, I'll show you the pen. I'll show you the pens because we've got like 3 or 4 different ones. And a notepad as well. That is
Stop it.
well.
Stop it. Yes. Blank checkbook and pen.
Yeah. Absolutely excellent.
And we also, other ways, sorry, go on. We also encourage our clients to do courses that they can pass on their knowledge as well. So we can help as many people as possible to get as experienced as possible, essentially. Whether it's a full arch, whether it's a sinus lift, whether it's a different way of doing the normal things, essentially. And if we're out and about and we see like very talented clinicians and we think, you know what, you can actually pass that knowledge on, why don't you? I personally, in my area, again, I do reach out to people and try and do as many courses as possible and kind of help them push that side of things as well, which again, it's not my job to do so, but I kind of want to, and if we could, then why not?
Yeah, I think that's good effort.
I agree. I think that's good. I think that it's important as well. I mean, I've been doing implants for quite a while now, and I'm still learning. It's changing all the time. Every day is a school day. There's lots So much to learn.
Absolutely.
So much to learn.
Well,
And that's
everything,
a
as we've said in this podcast, everything changes so quickly as well, you know. So when you know that part, that's fine, but it's already building up to the next change and the next change.
Yep.
So it's about
Just keeps
keeping up
getting
to
better.
date. Yeah, very, very much so.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, I think we've met that sweet spot, and I'm going to have to say thank you, a massive thank you, Sean.
Huge.
Honestly,
honestly,
and yes, you've got to come back.
thank you very much for having me here. Honestly, I really, really appreciate the invite.
It's been a
And
pleasure.
I've enjoyed talking to you guys, and yeah,
Likewise.
everyone else that's listening, please do reach out, and we'll be more than happy to help.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Yeah,
All right.
we'll put your details on the so this will go out on YouTube. We'll put your details on the YouTube links and any other links as well. Copy you in, Sean, and then just give us your contact details so people can get in touch.
Absolutely. He's a really genuine guy, everybody. I don't say that about everybody. He really is. What he says he is. He really is.
Fantastic.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers. Thanks,
Take
both.
care.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.